After our retreat from Germantown, my captain, George Daughtry, paid a visit to the commanding general, General Washington, and told him that he intended to parade his children, who were in his platoon, and march them to the general that he might see them.
If you could see my children for just a bit, it would give them great pleasure.
I would be very pleased to see your children.
Yes, sir. I'll have them here directly.
Go ahead and assemble out front.
I shall do that.
Good.
I was one of the 16 who formed the platoon, the oldest not exceeding 19, which caused the old captain, he of 70 years of age, to call us his children. We dressed ourselves immediately and were marched by Captain Daughtry until we were halted before the general's house and ordered to rest. The captain stepped in and told the general that his children were paraded before his door and invited him to come and view them, which he and his aides did.
These are the children that broke the line of the rough Hessian soldiers 4 times at the Battle of Germantown, without the loss of one man.
They are a likely set of boys, Captain. You should be very proud.
I care as much for them as my very own heart's blood. And I'm going to give them a frolic presently.
General Washington sent us refreshments for our frolic that evening, one I will never forget. It was a moment of honor and pride to meet the great man who leads us to liberty. It was several weeks later that I received the wound to my knee, by a rogue British horse of all things, which has confined me to this camp for so long, with more rest ahead of me. Remember me to your family, and I remain yours, Hugh.
Oh my. Yes, those were some tough days and months. It seemed like rumors were our daily fare. I remember we learned that many of the North Carolina Continentals and hundreds of militiamen made their way down to Charlestown, you know, in South Carolina, and many had been captured. We were thrilled to find out that Samuel's troop was not among those brave men. What was the name of the American general who surrendered there?
That was General Benjamin Lincoln, who surrendered all of his troops to General Clinton of the British Army. This was back in May of 1780. They had been outmaneuvered for sure.
I remember Samuel saying that the disaster in Charleston emboldened the Loyalists in the state, and that almost weekly there were skirmishes in every part of the state, where militiamen, patriots all, fought the Loyalists there. That was why there were so many skirmishes that summer of 1780.
Yes, I know that North Carolina patriots were victorious in those early summer skirmishes, but in August of 1780, many North Carolina militiamen and their new American commander, General Horatio Gates, were defeated in Camden in South Carolina.
It was a sad, sad time, as many of our boys were killed. And General Gates lost command, rightfully so, some said. He left North Carolina open to invasion.
My dear family, we have crossed the state, it seems, fighting Tories where we can find them, and it has been quite brutal at times.
He lists many of the battles of the day, but this is too faded. I can't make it out.
Well, the summer and fall of 1780 saw lots of action in North Carolina, all of which seemed to lead up to the major battle at Guilford Courthouse.
Guilford Courthouse. Yes, I expect that is what he wrote. I can make this part out. Now we are headed toward Cornwallis's forces, and I believe we must win this battle and bring this war to an end. This is short, but we march steadily and prepare. I remain yours, Samuel.
And mind your baby brother. And churn this butter. And bring in the cow and milker. And bring in the cow and milker again. And I need you to help with the plowing. Will it never end? I won't say a word. But it is not fair that the young men get to march off and fight, while I have to stay behind and do all my work and theirs too. And I know Mother and Father worry about having enough for us to eat. And to send to Samuel too. We need him here. I will do my part and help our boys. I wonder where Hugh is now. Our tea party seems ages ago.
My dear friends, you will be surprised that I write you from within the boundaries of our homeland. I mustered out as my knee healed slowly. I wanted the chance to see my family and help out for a bit at home if there was time. But I am called to continue the battle for liberty, as I fell into a militia group that was joining up with General Greene here. We marched into the back country, seeking Cornwallis and those redcoats. It is time to make a stand and do what damage we can. I do hope to see you all before too long. Accept the brevity of this note with great affection, as we march onward with no more camp time. Yours, Hugh.
And so it was that my dear brother and my dearest friend were together when Nathaniel Greene's men met Cornwallis's redcoats at the Battle of Guilford Courthouse, March 15, 1781, a date that I remember to this day.
General Greene had over 4,000 men, most of them seasoned militiamen, while Cornwallis had 2,000, but all were veteran British regulars. A bloody, vicious battle ensued. While leaders at the time say it was a victory for Lord Cornwallis, the Carolina Gazette eventually reported that a member of the English Parliament said another such victory will cost us the war. And it did, in fact, break the back of the British forces. After losing about a fourth of their men, the British retreated to Wilmington to lick their wounds, and then went on to Virginia and Yorktown, when in a few short months, October 19, 1781, they surrendered to General Washington.
The news of the surrender reached us, and we were joyful, but still anxious. We waited and worried for any word from Samuel. His letter was a surprise.